Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to go over 7 things that you can try to help the air quality in your home be better. So the first thing is going to be moving or mold remediation. So again, this is a mold and mycotoxin series. So if you have mold issues in the home, there's a very good chance you might also have some toxin issues as well, because mold can actually create toxins, especially once it starts to feel threatened, like when it starts getting killed off if it's not totally wiped out. They're smart enough to tell when they're being killed off, and they kind of communicate with the other mold spores, and they start releasing toxins into the air. So if you're not able to move, I know that can be really expensive, and so is mold remediation. However, I found personally with myself, as well as other people that I've worked with who also deal with these issues, if they don't move to a space that has a much lower mold load and like no toxins, or if they don't remediate the mold that they have in their home, they just don't get better. So number one thing, while I'll mention the other 6, they don't necessarily replace moving or remediating the mold issue that you have. Um, so that way the air can be a lot fresher, and you know the mold stuff won't be making you sick anymore. In the meantime, another thing that can help is plants. They are the original air purifiers, so to speak. Um, they're the OGs in that. Um, if you have pets, I would do a search as far as what plants are safe for the pets that you have and which ones are not. There are certain plants that can be poisonous, for example, to cats, but there are others that are not toxic to cats that can help purify the air around you. And, having plants in your house has many other benefits too, helping with mood and having some color in the room, having some more life in the room. So I have personally found, when I was staying with my mom, when the mold issue was happening in my old apartment, I kept gravitating towards her office, and I didn't know why. I thought perhaps it might have been because of the lighting, because like the front of her house faces the sun in the morning and during the afternoon. Um, and so I thought maybe it had to do with the sunlight, but I quickly found out that part of it also was because that's where she keeps all of her plants. And I could tell a difference in the quality of the air that I was breathing and how I felt being in that office with lots of plants as opposed to being in the rest of the house. There's just a difference in the quality there. And in the winter time, when it's too cold to keep the windows open all day to air out your house or your apartment, plants can be a really wonderful alternative for that. And even if you don't have to deal with that, I mean, if you open a window, it can certainly still augment the air in your space. So plants are, there's so many benefits to having plants in your living space. The next thing is an air purifier. So there are air purifiers at a wide range of air prices. I have been recommended and I have found really good success with air purifiers that have a HEPA filter in them. Many of them do. And then when you're looking for an air purifier, these are the ones that will take out the toxins and all the things, like it'll suck the air in that's in the space, like trap the particles like the dust, like the toxins, things like that, and then blow out fresh air that doesn't have any of those things. Hence, that's why it's an air purifier. It's a little different from a dehumidifier. Now, when it comes to mold, the air purifier does not kill mold. Um, so I wanted to make that distinction. The air purifier does not kill mold, but what it can do is it can trap some of the spores, it can trap the toxins in its filter, and then blow out fresh air that way. Um, but with the air purifier, I found that when I used it, it made a really major difference. As I said before, it did not replace the need to move um, from where I was at, just because it would work for a while. And I'd say after about a few weeks, I started to feel sick again, even though I was changing out the or emptying out the air filter on a regular basis. So sometimes, if the load of the toxins in the mold is high enough, sometimes you can run into where it's so high that an air purifier, even multiple air purifiers, are not going to be able to handle the load of toxins and mold spores that are circulating around the house or in the walls, in the ventilation systems, carpets, wherever it's at. So just to keep that in mind. But in the meantime, it can definitely be a really great investment to help purify the air in your space. Next, we have the dehumidifier. So the difference between a dehumidifier and an air purifier is that the air purifier will clean out the air, lets the existing air around the space. The dehumidifier just absorbs humidity and moisture that can be floating around in the air, um, sometimes without us even feeling it or realizing it. So, just like the air purifier, this does not replace the need to move or remediate the mold situation in the home, but it can help suck out the moisture that's in the space, which makes it a harder environment for mold to thrive. Just like the air purifier, a dehumidifier does not kill the mold. What it does is that it just makes less humidity be in the air and on things, so that way it's harder for mold to thrive. I have been told that mold can actually grow at 50% humidity or higher. Some places might also um, say 70%, but the places that I've seen that have gotten like research stuff to back up what they share, they have said that they've seen mold grow in like 50% humidity. So anything below 50% is what I personally strive for in my living space. But again, it just makes it harder for the mold to grow and thrive, but it doesn't quite kill it. So the next thing, which I highly, highly recommend just for like maintenance, really all of these things that I'm mentioning, other than the moving and the mold remediation, is stuff that can be used not only in the meantime while you're working on the mold situation, but it can also be a really great maintenance routine, like things you can set in place to help protect yourself and prevent, um, make it harder for mold to grow in the space that you're in or growing in the space again. So, quality cleaning products. So, there are botanical cleaning products out there that are safe for pets, that are designed to help with not only mold spores and getting them out, but some of them can also bind to or neutralize toxins that they produce. One of the series, well, it is a series, like a line that I really like, is the EC3 line of cleaning products. They have laundry additives. They have like cleaning sprays to like spray your surfaces. They have sprays that you can like spray like your furniture with. They have like foggers. They have a lot of different things. And again, I have personally used these products. I'm not being sponsored by them, but I noticed a difference while I was dealing with the mold situation when I started using them. So now I use them in like all of my laundry to go and help rinse all the spores out. I use them for areas that might have been exposed to mold. It's really been helpful for me. But as they say in their website, and as my experience also went, it did not completely replace the need for me to get out of the moldy situation I was in, and the toxic situation I was in. Um, so this can be a really great like maintenance thing, or just to help kind of make you a little more comfortable while you're in the middle of figuring out what you're going to do with the mold situation in your own home. So the next one is essential oil diffusers. Now, I'm not as familiar with all of the essential oils that can help with the mold stuff. Um, I have personally used lemongrass, and I had noticed a difference in that because the lemongrass does have the ability to help with the mold, as well as like neutralizing the toxins, is what I've been told. I've also heard some people use frankincense for mold stuff as well. I haven't used that one, but I've heard that people have had success with that. So I just wanted to throw it out there just as another option. But with the essential oil diffusers, it's again like essential oil botanicals, like herbs that naturally can neutralize these or kill off like mold spores or neutralize toxins and things. Um, like I said, I'm not as familiar with the essential oils, but I did have some success with the lemongrass thing. I did notice a difference in the quality of the air of my space, even though the lemongrass was a strong one for me because I used about 10 drops was what I was recommended to use. But I noticed once I had it off, because I didn't have it run like 24/7 the whole time, um, I noticed like the benefits still lingered for a while. So I didn't have to have it running like 24/7 in order to feel the benefits of it, as far as its ability to help with the mold and the toxins and the air quality. And the last thing is a vacuum that has a HEPA filter. So I've had my fair share of vacuums, like the really cheap ones, and I have personally found that this is not an area to go for the absolute cheapest option because they may not have a HEPA filter. What a HEPA filter does is that it can pretty much pick up way more particles, dust, toxins, things like that than your average vacuum cleaner. Um, and so it can be really, really helpful for getting up not just like your pet dust or like pet dander, I mean to say dust, things like that, because dust, pet dander, things like that, those are all food sources for mold. Um, but it can also help get up mold spores more. It can also help get more of the toxins more because of that HEPA filter component. A lot of the air purifiers also have a HEPA filter, which can help it pick up way more stuff, which can be really, really helpful. And I've personally noticed just when I vacuumed with a regular vacuum cleaner, I didn't notice much of a difference other than the feel of the carpet. But when I started using a vacuum with a HEPA filter, I noticed not only, hey, the carpet feels better, if you have a place with a carpet, um, but I also noticed that the air quality was better. Like it was noticeable. So, highly, highly recommend investing in a quality vacuum that has a HEPA filter with it, just to help with maintaining and getting up stuff that, can grow on the carpet, especially since carpet is a food source in and of itself for mold. So, if you do have a living space with carpet or, the place that you're moving to has carpet, this can be a really, really good um, thing to use. And that is it. That is 7 things that you can use or do to help improve the air quality in your living space, from mold and mycotoxins. So I hope that this list was very helpful for you. If you use any of these, I would love to know your feedback. I will put in a link for the EC3 cleaning products below in the description. Um, I'd love to hear your experiences if you've tried any of these or if you've been through a similar situation, or even if you know someone who has. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video.